Alright, so here we go. Here's my attempt at a tutorial of building a house. To save time, I'm gonna cut and paste a bunch of videos together, and I don't know how that's gonna go because I haven't done it before, so hopefully this doesn't turn out all awful. Anyway, here's how you start out. All these posts are 4 spaces apart. The other thing you want to do is make sure you choose ground that's uneven because it'll make the house look better. So we've got these all 4 spaces apart, and then you're basically just going to link them all up like this, except for that one. This will be the start of the walls. Alright, so we got a foundation, and now we're going to actually start building the real walls. These are super easy to do. I've just got cobblestone. I'm going to stack up a few things high like this. We're going to take wool on the outside here, not there, and then a 2x2 glass pane. And that's it. I'm going to make a bunch of those. Alright, walls are all done. Now I realized I made a mistake, so let me show you this really quick. This is where the front door is going to go. This wasn't supposed to be 4 back. The window here is going to be a little bit smaller. It just makes the door line up better. So this is a 2x3 area, not a 2x4 like the rest of them, so it changes the length right there. We're going to fill that in later anyway. So the next thing to do is make the floor and the basement, and I'll dig out the basement in a sec. You kind of have to figure out what side you want the basement on. In the other house I built it over here. This terrain's a little different, so we can kind of do it in either spot, but here's how you do it. If there's a too high area here, you get some glass and you get some stone, and it should look like that, and that'll be the window for the basement. You're gonna have to dig out the whole thing later. But basically, there is going to be, around the inside of the floor, one layer of stone that goes all the way around. And we can get a window right here. I'm not sure how that'll look from the outside. It might look stupid, so you can just add some dirt if it doesn't work out. Then it gets a little bit higher, so here's just going to have stone. Just do this all the way around the outside. Okay, and then once that's all the way around the outside, we're just going to use a standard wood floor. And again, you can tweak it once it's done, but I just started doing this pretty much the whole way around. So it's starting to look like a house now. You see I filled in the floor. You can see how there's a 1 wide thing of stone all the way around. It's kind of separated into sections. So that's where the basement will go under there, but again, we need to dig it out, so we'll do that in a sec. Right now I'm just going to put in the front door because that's easy, and then we'll get to the roof, and the roof is where it gets a little bit harder. Okay, so there's a front door. The way I did that before is I just added some slabs. You could do it however you want to. This house, again, is a little bit different shape than the other one. Right here. You can pretend it lines up properly. It doesn't really. There we go, that's probably better. Maybe that way, yeah. And then I added flowers and a shrub. Alright, it looks reasonable. You can tweak it if that's not exactly the way you want it to look, but there's a front door. So next is the roof. The roof is where it gets a little bit weird. Alright, let's make the roof. Now, this takes a little bit of trial and error to get it to fit exactly right, so if I screwed up, I'm sorry. I'll figure it out. The way I did it was I made it not a full 45-degree angle, but only half of that, so we're going to use a bunch of half slabs to get this to line up, and that means you have to place a whole bunch of stuff. So, on the corner right here, now let me figure out how to do this. You want it like that. So it's actually 1/2 slab on top, 1/2 slab on the bottom. Need to do it like that. Have it come out one from the roof in every direction. Okay, then what we're going to do block like that. It's kind of a pain because you have to do this. If there's a better way to do it that way. This is how I built it. We're going to do the same thing on the other side of this roof. So you can get the idea. It takes a little bit to make it all the way. Okay, now, once we get this all the way up, we're going to have to put in some stuff behind it. So let me just get that. Oh, see, now I'm messing it up. Okay, behind this thing, we're going to have stone in the middle, and then you're going to put wool behind the roof here. And that's going to look like this. So that's a pretty easy shape. And then when you view it from the front, it should line up perfectly with the roof like that. And then we need one more of these. Okay, so you get the idea. Now, each of these roof pieces, let me see, yeah, this wool block you actually don't need because you won't be able to see it. Same with this one. And same with that one. So it should look like that. Now each of these roof pieces, we are going to extend back all the way like this. All the way to the other side of the house. And then we're going to do the same thing over there. And here, the way I did it is I went ahead and filled them all in on the bottom like that too. So you kind of have to double place them underneath. But yeah, do that. Fill in the wool right here. And then extend the roof all the way back. That is the easy part of the roof. It gets worse after this. Let me finish this up and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so you should have something that looks like this at this point. Now, there is one thing I want to show you. There's kind of a cruddy lighting bug that happens when you put the half blocks on the top on the inside. See how it's pitch black right there? I don't like the way that looks at all. So the way I fixed it is I just made stone across the top like this. I'm taking out one of the half blocks and just putting stone across the ceiling. So it looks like it's part of the house anyway. It looks like support. So from the inside, looks like that. From the outside, you still have a half slab on top, so it's going to look like a regular roof. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the back of the house right here. Apparently we put our house in a bad location because pigs can climb on the roof, but maybe take care of that later. This roof is going to be a little bit wider. So the easiest way to get it is to make this shape right here. That will give you the dimensions that you want. Fill in some wool like this. And then you need, I believe, that much. I can double check it in a second. Maybe more. I don't know. We'll find out in a sec if this is right or wrong. I'm not totally sure. So, same thing as before. Yourself a block there. Have it come one out. Half block here. Okay, and we'll see if this works. And this one is not going to come to a point because the way the roof lines up. So you're going to get it. Yeah, I think I need more wool. Get it to here. We need another wool block in there to make it so it's not. So there's not a big hole. Okay, and then once you get to here, this is where the roof is going to even out. So you have 4 blocks flat on top of the roof like that, and then we're going to bring it back down over here. Now when we do this, it is going to intersect with the other roof, and I just kind of eyeballed it and made it line up in a way that I thought looked okay. So just like that. So now you got kind of a little sticky up thing there. We need one more piece of wool here. Okay, so now the back side of the roof looks pretty decent. Now we get the other side. So here is the front right side of the house, and this is going to have the same dimensions as this side, but what we're going to do is we're only going to take it back as far as this block right here. So I'll start building it and then I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Alright, so there's the front part of that roof, and then here's the fun part where we're going to splice everything together. This is going to go back as far as that, like I said, and we're going to take this roof, have that piece come across here. This piece is going to go all the way across to right there. So basically, on this part of the roof, this is nothing, just to connect the blocks up and it'll work out. However, on this side, it's a little bit different. That's going to come across like that. And we're going to start roofing this sucker right here according to what's on the back part there. So, got blocks there. Not even sure if I'm doing this right. Hang on a sec, let me go double check. Okay, looks like I was doing it right, but I just wanted to make sure. So we are going to take this part down, block like that. This is going to connect to the other roof just like before. Okay. Now this looks a little bit odd, so the way I fix that is for the front door, I had this come across just like that. Throw a piece there. Oops. Okay, kind of looks like a door. Here's this thing right here. Now, we need some wool in the back to make this not look all ridiculous. So right here, I'm going to do that like that. And that should look normal from the front. And then from the inside of the house, you're not even going to see it. And I think actually what I did, because this looks a little bit weird to me, I think I put like that. Maybe. We will find out. If it looks weird, you can always change it. I think there's a wool block that goes there. Pretty sure. And then we just need the roof to come across. So, I don't know. Just start filling in at this point. I'm going to go have a look at the old house and make sure I've done this right, because it looks a little bit weird to me. Got it all figured out. So let's finish the sucker up. So here's how we're going to do it. Put a beam across here, put one on the other side. We're just going to fill this in. That one gets that. Now on this side, we're just going to take the roof and we're going to extend it through. So there'll be kind of a hole up here that you won't be able to see. There we go. Get the idea? So the inside roof and the outside roof are different. The inside roof is just this triangle right here, But for the outside roof, we're going to make it this bigger one. Comes across like this. And there we go. Then just got to finish up the roof on the house, and then a couple more things and we'll be done. So at this point, the house is pretty much built. Now we just got to do a few little aesthetic things to make it look better. So first thing we're going to do is add a chimney and a fireplace. And I like putting it right over here. You can kind of put it wherever you want, I think. There's the roof all filled in, looking good. We're going to rip out this window right here. I like taking a different kind of stone block. This is also one of those times where it might look a little bit weird. We're going to mess with... I don't like that hole right there. So I'm going to grab some dirt. I'm just going to kind of raise the ground level around here a little bit more. Not sure I like that there either, but yeah, maybe that'll work. It looks a little bit weird right now, but when the grass grows in, it'll look normal. So there is your chimney. Kill that, kill that. Just make it a nice square. Come up out of the house, and then we can add smoke with cobwebs, because for whatever reason it looks reasonably like smoke. Have it go up and oh no, I'm stuck in them. Have it go up and a little bit out, and then I kind of thin it out. There you go, smoke coming out of that chimney. You can mess with it. Dark in here. I mean, it'll get nice and lit up on the fires here. Block on top of there. I want to rip all these out. You need to test this before you actually make it, because there is always the possibility that something's going to light on fire. And I'm actually thinking that this might not work in 1.3, because what I did before, I'm pretty sure the half blocks are still not flammable. And I think in 1.3 they are flammable. So you may have to change those blocks. But, I don't know, just put it in there, cross your fingers that you don't light something on fire. This should be good for right now. I'm not going to furnish the rest of the house. You can figure out what you want to put in here. This spot right here, this is the spot I neglected, I guess. We are going to add a back door. So again, this is where you have to start messing with the terrain a little bit to make it look the way you want it to. Because right now, the grass isn't high enough. Did this, I threw a couple torches like that. Fill all this in. That should look about what you want it to look like. Make a little walkway. There you go. And then put some shrubs or whatever you want around there to make it look right. Alright, one last thing we gotta do. Add the basement. So what I did is I just dug out this area right here. You're gonna have to get down there and just start digging out dirt under the house. You can make this whatever size you want to. I took almost no time when I did it on the other house. I just filled it in with all stone. So it was really kind of lazy. But you can do it however you want. Stairway going down to it. So this. Okay, and then door will go. Oh, maybe we need to bring this. We need to bring this back one. Or maybe not use half steps. Anyway, the door will go right here. Let's not use half steps. I would just use regular steps here. There you go. Okay. I actually did that wrong. Well, this is what happens when you start building. See how it looks weird? I don't like the way that looks at all. These doors are too low. So instead, we're going to open that up. Throw some torches so you can see it. These are too low, so now we could go back to using half steps if you want to. Just raise that stuff. Give me a door again. There. Okay. Door to a basement. I'm not going to bother building the basement. I just made a big square room under there. You could figure it out. It's really not too hard. So the one last thing you need to do to make this house look like it ought to, again, is just mess with the terrain after you're done. Like, for instance, I don't really like how that looks down there. It makes the front of the house a little bit too high. I don't like how low these stairs are. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a bunch of grass, and I'm just going to raise up the terrain here. Alright, so raised up all the terrain. You can see I just threw a bunch of grass in the front. Threw some flowers under there. It looks like a planter. It looks kind of nice. Lowered the steps so they're not quite as steep. All in all, I think it looks a little bit more even. On the other house, I had a gravel path that kind of went to the side here. You're going to have to figure it out based on the terrain. This one is obviously in a different place, so maybe a path doesn't make sense going to the front door. Maybe run it around to the back door. Add some trees on the side. We didn't do the inside. You can do whatever you want on the inside. I just made a bed and some bookshelves. Now, there is one last thing that I feel like I ought to tell you, because I found it while I was building this, and then we'll be done. I did not upgrade to 1.3 yet. And I was a little bit worried it was going to burn down the house, but these 4 blocks right here, if you make them as wood blocks, they're going to light on fire. I thought they were far enough away from the fireplace. I guess they're not. So if you're still running 1.25, just make them half blocks, and they don't burn. But apparently that's changed in 1.3, so you may have to adjust the fireplace accordingly. Maybe just lower it on the inside, and then it should be far enough away. Or, you know, don't have a chimney. It'll still look pretty good without a chimney. I actually not sure what to do to fix that, so you're gonna have to figure it out on your own. Oh well. Anyway, there is your house. Hooray!